I'll introduce the next speaker. So it gives me much pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Professor Sudha Rai. Professor Sudha Rai is an academic, author, and researcher. She was formerly Dean at the Faculty of Arts, University of Rajasthan, and Professor of English at the Department of English at the University of Rajasthan, and Head of Department at Manipal University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. She has authored 2 critical books on V.S. Naipaul and is the co-editor with Professor Jasbir Jain of what to my mind is a very special and very important book, Films and Feminism, Essays in Indian Cinema. This is a very short biography of someone who has accomplished a lot, but because for questions of brevity and time, I will invite Professor Sudha Rai, who is also the mother of a very friend of mine and someone who has encouraged my poetic voice for almost 5 years now, ever since I started writing and sharing on social media and so on. So very, very happy to have her here. Professor Sudha Rai, if you could just say a few words.
Many congratulations. And, when I got to know that your first volume is going to be published and all too soon, I have been eagerly waiting for this because you have been posting poems that I've been reading, over the last few years. And I have always felt that what the poems do to me as an individual and as a woman is to open up so many, buried recesses, recesses of pain, anger, a sense of, well, here is a being who is working through something and there is searing pain. And there is so much anger, you see, that has to find its own outlet and to flow away. And I also felt when the volume of poems came to me that the poems are so mature and so tall. And today I went through the poems, you see, all over again, the first section by section. And I said, well, if I had to find and identify my favorite poems, each one is a favorite. Each one is a favorite because it is so beautifully crafted and there is a logic to it. There is a reason. There is the strength of very authentic emotion. And, the flow, like that poem that you have about water, which is getting to be one of my absolute favorites. And the way in which you feminize, you see, the language so that it is, it's reborn. The language itself is truly reborn. And that's something that I feel with each of your poems. And there is so much beauty, beauty so difficult to contain. And sometimes the pain is difficult to comprehend. And then the beauty itself can't be encompassed. So this is what I feel. And I think you have an absolutely brilliant road ahead of you, which you have, walked so bravely with such perseverance. And we all know that all the great feminists world over, endurance of the spirit is one of their finest traits. And I felt really glad when you said that I am writing this for young women, I'm writing this for my daughter, because feminists do need to leave a legacy behind. And that is what you will do, Sonali. So thank you so much for inviting me to your launch. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you so much, Professor Rai. Thank you. And yes, I do hope that I, do half of what you say that a life ahead of me stands for. But this is exactly what fuels me, where my anger, or just anger as I call it, righteous anger, resonates with women across the board because there is a purpose for. And if I may say, I think at the heart of my poetry, I recognize what lies is poetic justice, not in the sense that we understand poetic justice, but justice that poetry can bring to the table when other forms of justice fail, to address oppressions and ordinary oppressions and provocations and so on. So thank you so much. Your words are so precious to me, and they will give me wings.